Trump administration is bent on cracking down on immigration. Right now, they've already introduced regulation of birth tourism, which means there are going to be visa restrictions for pregnant women who are going to give birth in the United States, and also included some country in their travel bans. If you can remember, when he first assumed office, he slammed travel ban on some countries. And this time around, he's going to add more countries to it, which has 7 countries in Africa and Asia, which includes Nigeria, Belarus, Eritrea, Kyrgyzstan, Myanmar, Sudan, and Tanzania. And one of the reasons his administration gave for imposing this travel ban is to prevent potential acts of terrorism, because according to them, the countries on the list do not adequately vet their travelers to the United States. Hi guys, you're watching Chiki series. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for your support. I quite appreciate that. It's good to have you around again. And if you're new to this channel, you're welcome. Kindly consider subscribing by clicking on the red subscribe button. Also hit the bell icon. That way you get notification whenever I upload a new video. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about US visa restrictions to pregnant women and also Nigeria to be included in US travel bans. So I'm going to start with the US visa restriction for pregnant women, which I know some pregnant women who are well-to-do have benefited from, because it is not cheap to deliver a baby in the US. It is a whole lot of money. You have to budget between 10,000 US dollars to 15,000 US dollars. When you make the plans yourself, or you have a family member who is helping you to follow up on these plans, but when you're going to use an agent, it can get very expensive, up to 80,000 US dollars. And when you look at it generally, birth tourism is a lucrative business in the US and abroad, because most often the agents that are involved in these businesses, they make a lot of money. And when you look at it critically, sometimes they rip people off by making plans for the hotel, plans for the hospital, and also your travel itineraries. According to the report, many of the women that benefit from this birth tourism are from Russia and China. I know that some Nigerians also benefit from this, most especially politicians' wives, and some Nigerians who are doing good job, or some of the people doing meaningful job in Nigeria, people that are well placed in the society. One of the major reasons why some people go for this birth tourism, not considering the cost, is because a child born in the United States is considered an American citizen under the 14th Amendment of their Constitution. Even before Trump, the US has been cracking down on this practice, and even with Trump administration, that everybody knows that he has been restricting all form of immigration. But this birthright citizenship is not so easy for him to end, according to the scholars and members of his administration. Actually, before this visa restriction, going to US to give birth was very legal. But now, because there has been a lot of fraud and they've got a lot of data, that people sometimes don't pay for their hospital bills, they don't pay for their medical bills. This is where I get confused. I don't really know why people should leave their country to another country thinking that the country will foot their medical bills. You're a pregnant woman and you have intentions of giving birth in the United States, which is legally allowed, and you know fully well that there are medical bills to pay, because even in your own country, you paid for your antenatal services and you have the audacity to apply for visa in your own country. Is it that you never budgeted for it? You think the country you're going to will pay your medical bills? So this is where I don't get it. I just lose it at this point. People just like to manipulate the system and take advantage of that system. And when the system reacts to it or bounces back, because for every action there is always an equal and opposite reaction, people will start complaining. So you can imagine when you have a lot of pregnant women that entered US and gave birth to their baby, at the end of the day, they never paid their hospital bills. So maybe at the end of one year, you'll be having lots of billions of US dollars to be settled, taxpayers' money that will go in settling all these bills. And some of these agencies, they've decided to evade tax. They don't pay their tax as they're supposed to pay. So you can actually see a lot of fraud going on in the system. And based on this, a country can actually change their immigration rules, which in the real sense of it, they're protecting their citizens. And other reasons they gave, according to rule in Federal Register, is intended to address national security, law enforcement risk, and criminal activities associated with birth tourism industry. People also give them the reason why they change the policies. Nobody wants to be wasting his or her money on irrelevant things. You use their taxpayers' money to be settling medical bills for people who you don't know, who are not part of you. The only thing is that they're in your country to have their baby. After which the mother goes back to her country together with the US baby, if she actually has to go, because some people also disappeared in the United States. And later on in life, when they find their way back to the United States, they will take the status of citizen and the country will take care of them because they got US passports. At the moment, there is no exact figures on how many foreign women travel to the United States specifically to give birth, but according to the Center for Immigration Studies, it has been estimated to be 36,000 foreign born women who gave birth in the United States in 2012 and left for their individual countries. And this has automatically translated to 36,000 US citizens, depending on the number of births. Some people had multiple births, so I can never say maybe it's more than 36,000. And remember, this data is only for 2012. So just think about this, multiply it by 10 when you do this for over 10 years with all the problems that come with it. So based on this, you can understand the reason why sometimes immigration policies are changed. So the implication of this visa restriction is that it's going to be more difficult for pregnant women to travel on tourist visas, and they will need to convince the consular officer that they have another legitimate reason to come to the US in case their bump is showing or they are heavily pregnant, because applicants will be denied tourist visas if they are determined by a consular officer to be coming to the US primarily to give birth, and consular officers right now aren't told to ask during visa interviews whether the woman is pregnant or intends to become pregnant. Then they don't do pregnancy test at the embassy. So some of the questions that could arise is that how could they determine whether a woman is pregnant or not? Maybe they're going to introduce pregnancy test. And could border officers turn away a woman who they suspect that is pregnant? And for those women whom their bumps are already showing, don't bother going to United States Embassy in any country where you are, because your visa is not going to be issued. You're not gonna have it. Yeah, apparently a lot of things are gonna change. It's not going to be as easy as before. Like before, women were often honest about their intentions when applying for visas and even show sign contracts with doctors and hospitals. But right now, the consular will not want to see your bump. And that is the situation right now. It might not sound so nice, but that's the situation. It is what it is. And like I said before, it is still unclear the method the border control officers are going to use to check whether a woman is pregnant or not. It might get tougher at border control. And now, moving on to Nigeria being included in US travel ban list, alongside other countries like Belarus, Eritrea, Kyrgyzstan, Myanmar, Sudan and Tanzania. If you can remember, when Donald Trump assumed office, he slammed travel bans on some country, and now he wants to include in that list all these countries listed. And it has been already 3 years since he signed the travel ban on the seventh day in the office at the beginning of his term. Personally, I see this as a slap on the face of Nigeria because of the significant position of Nigeria in Africa. I hope Buhari's administration is taking this seriously to find a way to fight the insecurity in Nigeria like Boko Haram and Fulani herdsmen, which Buhari's administration has never seen as neither a threat nor as terrorists, therefore refuses to proscribe them even when they've proscribed other organizations. Because part of the reasons they gave for including these countries in their travel ban is to prevent potential acts of terrorism as countries on the list do not adequately vet their travelers to the United States. It is a big shame, in as much as they've gone further to say that, according to the administration officials, that the country will not face blanket ban on travel to the United States, but could have restrictions placed on specific types of visas, such as business visas or visitors visas. But all these things, I believe they're only semantics, because at the end of the day, an ordinary Nigerian is going to be scrutinized properly before the person is given visa, and more so when you get to border officers at the point of entry, you're gonna get it rough. So the implication is that Nigerians are going to be scrutinized harder. It's going to be a bit tougher for especially those who are going for business or visiting. It's not going to be that easy for you to secure American visa. My problem with this is that people who are causing this problem, the politicians and the leaders, are going to have access to the United States while the ordinary man suffer. So I don't know. I hope Buhari's administration are doing everything possible to make sure that terrorism is curtailed in Nigeria, that they fight Boko Haram and Fulani herdsmen. Even in Nigeria, an ordinary Nigerian is not safe because of the kidnapping, the terrorism, and Fulani herdsmen moving around in the villages, in the interior part of the villages. That's the one that is even shocking me the most, because these people, they have access to the very interior part of any locality, all in the name of looking for grazing field for their cows, looking for fertile land for their cow to graze on. It is quite unfortunate that different governors in Nigeria are looking for a better way to secure their people and secure their land, thereby creating all sorts of security outfits. But the funny thing is that Nigerian government is not even in support of it. They are criticizing it, they are against it. So I wouldn't know what they want the citizens to do. They want the citizens to get killed by Fulani herdsmen while everybody is watching. Even police is very, very incapacitated. They can't even do anything. So I don't blame US government for trying to protect their own citizens. So if Nigerian government does not want to protect its own citizens, another country will do that. Where do I even start? Is it that 5 years on, 112 girls kidnapped from Chibok town are still missing? Because in 2014, at least 276 girls were taken from a government secondary school in Chibok in Borno State. Until today, 112 of them have not come home. And even some of them have married off to Boko Haram and are having children. This is so sad and heartbreaking. And I hope Buhari's administration will take a cue from this to protect the citizens of Nigeria better. So let me know what you guys think about the whole situation, about the visa restriction for pregnant women, and then Nigeria being included in a travel ban list. I'm gonna sign off here. Stay healthy and safe. And remember to share this video with family and friends if you love it. And subscribe to my channel if you've not done already. And I'm gonna catch you in my next video. Bye.